But I want to go back to the president's speech. And I want to give you a scenario because I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning. This is what I thought about. And I thought about the president, looking at his speech that was written for him. And all of a sudden he stops and he looks up in the balcony in the gallery and he sees Jeff Immelt of GE. And he turns and he stops there and he says, "Jeff, I want to ask you a question. Tell me the real reason why you moved out of Milwaukee with the X-ray division and put the division into China." Okay? And then I came back and I said, the real reason, not the PR, not, oh, jobs are not going to be gone, and we're not going to have to lose any jobs. Now, remember, Jeff Immelt is this economic advisor. This is the guy.
This is jobs council.
This is the guy helping him to come up with a strategy of developing jobs in the United States out of the country in a visible way, in a really visible way. It's kind of embarrassing if you weren't a Democrat, if you're a Republican.
The president didn't do that.
Well, he didn't do it, but he should have done it.
Right.
And if you think about it a second, why would he do it? Okay, so I took the scenario. Well, so is it taxes? Well, it can't be taxes because GE doesn't pay any taxes. But eventually they're going to catch him, and there's going to be a tax situation, all right? What else could it be? Regulations. Regulations are a killer on business, any business. You just heard from the EPA thing with illegal seafood guy. You have no idea what it is to open a business today in America. It is beyond anything. I'm talking about the city, the state, and the federal level. You have to be a magician.
So what would you tell the president to do?
I'm not finished with you.
I'm sorry.
I'm not finished with you. Why Immelt moved to China.
Right.
Now the next thing is labor. He's going to have a union on him. He knows it. Why does he know it? He knows it because of what happened in Boeing. He knows it because what the NLRB is doing, so he's going to have it there. Well,
Boeing expanded South Carolina, hired 1,000 workers.
Well, but
he's getting all sorts of grief. So companies are looking at that and be less predisposed.
Yeah, and so if you look at the future is, and if you see the behavior of the NLRB, they're pushing card check right now, and companies can be organized. Well, if I'm a businessman and I'm running a business, I'm going to move where I'm going to be secure. I'm going to move where I can make a living.
Even if you're going to take the political heat for doing it?
I don't think he worries about it. I mean, if he lived through the fact that he's not paying any taxes, and his best friend is the guy in the White House who's trying to raise money.
But that's a double standard right there.
Well, oh, my goodness gracious. How about that? Well, I mean,
so you as a businessman, you're insulted by that.
Well, who's the other guy that does it? Buffett, who said, let's raise taxes.
Right.
How much taxes does he pay? He didn't pay what I pay, for crying out loud. I mean, he's got all these taxable, non-taxable events.
I always think with guys like that, Bernie, if they really want to pay more taxes, write a check.
I think that if he feels that way, he's worth about $30 billion, he could pay for 1 or 2 days worth of the government's expenses. It's worth it. That's about what it is. His whole life work would pay for about 2 days of the government expenses. So.